So, guys, if you're just joining us now, we're interviewing uh, Mama Pool and
Whatever.
Baby Pool.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Baby
His
Pool,
name is
sure.
Wade.
What? His name is
His
what?
name is Wade. Wade
Wade.
Wilson.
Oh yeah, we're interviewing Wade and his Mama Pool.
Yeah, I don't really have a name for my character because it's just Deadpool.
It's just
there's,
Deadpool.
there's a lot of us. We're just different.
Nice, nice. So, how are you guys today?
Good, you?
We're good.
Good, good. Awesome. So let's get right into it. So how did you guys discover
Well, I've been going to cons since the 80s because I'm super old.
cosplay?
I started doing Rocky Horror when I was 15. That was in 1979.
Wow.
And it just kind of evolves from there. You start finding things that you want to do. Um, I started out playing Janet in a stage show. I played a bunch of the different characters. Then Rocky Horror got closed down, and I played Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And it just kind of evolved from there.
So Wade, how did you get into cosplay?
Um, kind of just through her. She just woke me up one day and was like, "Hey, you want to go to this thing? I got tickets." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then it was my first Comic-Con. And then the next time we went, I was like, "I kind of want to cosplay. It looks fun." That's pretty. I'm pretty boring with it.
No, it's.
She
However,
has
the
this origin
humble
story,
Well,
and I'm over here with. I was just there.
it's like, hey, she bought tickets, I went along, right? That's usually what happens. It's
Yeah.
somebody gets us involved into it, and of course, when I was younger, conventions were like, oh, you're a nerd if you go to the conventions, or
Yeah.
you're a dweeb if you dress up, and nowadays it's like you're a dweeb if you don't dress up.
hmm
It's
Gone.
like that's like the fun part of conventions is showing off what you've made or put together or your passion of the character. Now, what was your guys' first cosplay?
Well, I mean, together it was this.
Yeah.
He was doing Deadpool, and I was following him around and trying to get his attention in a loud convention, and he has a mask on. And I started yelling for him, and I thought, this would be really funny if I just followed him around dressed as his mom or his grandma or whatever, and followed him around and yelled at him the whole time, and I did.
You're
And then,
not
of course,
buying that.
That's pretty much exactly what it is.
Hilarious.
It's pretty great.
That's awesome.
And of course, then every Deadpool that sees me, I'm their mom. So
Of course. So
it evolved into that. And
hence the Mama Pool now.
exactly.
Exactly. Oh, very nice. Awesome. So, do you guys do strictly Deadpool characters, or do you have other cosplay plans that you are going to do in the future?
I am with another cosplay group that does Resident Evil. I do a Nemesis cosplay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's pretty fun in my 6'5" self.
How
So-
do you carry around all those prosthetics? Woo.
So it's pretty lucky the costume that we have together, because we helped build parts, because just whatever. But it's only a mask, a full head mask, and then head shoulder to toe leather pleather costume.
Oh, you're the new
that it-
Nemesis. Okay, yeah, okay, got it. Yeah. Resident Evil
I think
3
it's
Nemesis.
older, but also I'm not quite sure, because
Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. That's right.
yeah, because
I was thinking
I
the
always-
morphed one where it has the prosthetic
Yeah,
eye
no.
or anything like
now.
Like,
And then I also have my minigun, that I also use for my Deadpool occasion.
Nice.
When props are allowed.
Depending on the convention, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was dressed up as Deadpool one time going to Phoenix Fan Fusion, and I was stopped by two police officers, And it's like, we've gotten calls. I'm like, I'm just walking to the convention. Go ahead, search me. All my weapons are fake.
I tell them to search me all the time too. Come on,
Yeah.
these are real.
Well, I could understand. Like, you have the two swords in your back, and you have the pistols on your side, and they look real. And so, yeah, okay, I would stop if I was a cop too. I would stop that person. Like, hey, your intentions here are good. Okay, we're good then. Because Deadpool is that type of character where it's just like weaponry is a must. And with Phoenix Fan Fusion's no weapons policy, it was like, I got to the convention and I had my two guns. I'm like, I can't bring these in. And like, nope. I'm like, ooh, where am I going to stash these so I don't have to go back to my car? And so
tell him about the bananas. Tell him about the bananas.
Okay.
So the first time we were there, because we were at the convention when it happened and they removed all weapons
2017.
In 2017. So what I thought about doing was at like probably about 1 o'clock in the morning before the convention, we ran out to a 7-Eleven or gas station or something and bought 3 bananas and a beef jerky. Because my normal cosplay is I have a side holster or 2 leg holsters and then a boot knife. Yeah. So I put the bananas in the holsters and the jerky in my boot knife.
Nice.
And just because it's like in character because he's wacky, and also you can't ban nanas.
Nope, you can't. You can't ban the nanas.
So you find a way around stuff to do things anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, of course. You have to, because with the whole culture, and we were talking with Discordia Cosplay and how the cancel culture is out there in full swing, and everybody wants to ban everything. And as a cosplayer, part of your prop is part of your cosplay, and so it's really disheartening when you have the convention, not the Phoenix Fan Fusion. This is not their rule. The convention saying, sorry, no props at all that can resemble a weapon. But of course, you understand the whole, mindset behind it. So, have you guys ever been in a cosplay contest?
The closest we've come is she's hosted a Deadpool show, and I was in it.
Nice.
It was more of like a wacky.
It was a Deadpool talent show.
Yeah, talent show.
Nice.
So it was like 50 other Deadpools just in a room on stage. That's cool. Being wacky.
But he did get kissed by Ajax.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a person that was very much resembling Ajax, as in I got face to face with him, like nose to nose, and he looked like him. And
wow, that's kind of crazy. No, yeah, it's crazy when you meet those cosplayers who really take it to the next level and they look exactly like the character, and you're like, "What? Are you really him?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you prefer sewing, armor making, or wig working? So, who does the costumes? Is it strictly Mama Pool that does all the cosplays?
Honestly, the best way to describe our costumes is sort of kit bashy, if that makes sense.
Yep.
We are more of building up from like Goodwill-ish type stuff.
Okay.
Or I got this mask from Todd Cook.
Mm-hmm.
But like, because you don't really need to know how to sew or to know how to like do really that much to actually cosplay. You can slowly grow it over time, make it slowly better, eventually see if you can try sewing and slowly learn. But our shtick was mostly props, which can't really have anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what our draw was, besides Mama Pool being Mama Pool.
Yeah, of course.
So like I used to carry around a giant minigun. That thing is pretty much my biggest draw, because there are hundreds of Deadpools at a convention.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's one of those things. We are all different, and we are all separate people, but also at the same time, it's hard to stand out with a Deadpool. So you kind of gotta find your niche type thing.
You got to find the universe you belong in.
Yeah, exactly. So, and since the cons are canceled for the year because of the pandemic, it's sad that we're not going to see the plethora of Mandalorians that we were going to see.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly when I knew like Phoenix Fan Fusion was going to happen or Game On Expo was going to happen. In January, I was thinking, I'm like, oh my God, how many Mandalorians are going to be walking around? How many, Baby Yodas are there going to be?
Everyone that owns a small child will just dress it.
So you are Yoda.
you are now Yoda. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. And the sad thing is because of the pandemic, we are unable to go out there and be able to show off our cosplays. So what are you guys doing during the pandemic to kind of stay relatable?
So,
yeah.
I know where you're going. We also have two vehicles that are cars play that we like to call. We have a Stars Raccoon City Police Department car and also an umbrella car. Because of that, and also sort of our costumes, we have been invited to like miniature events of
sick kids,
parades and
stuff like that.
Nice.
So that's kind of what we've been doing. Is someone calls us or texts mom and goes, "Hey, we like your car. Can you come down and drive that?" And we're like, "Hey, we also do Deadpool. You want us to just be in our costumes while we do that?" And they're usually just say, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And we'll just go to a big parking lot and socially distance, and a child will drive by and we wave at them, and
very nice.
That's about it.
Very nice. Yeah, because I remember I saw a Facebook Live video of you guys driving around Metro Center Mall on the day it was closing.
Yeah.
And all those cool cars.
You find things to do. I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of little things. There was a little boy on Facebook that protected his sister from getting bit by a dog.
Yeah, the whole dog thing.
And I did a quick, hi to him from Mama Pool. And then, of course, Chris Evans upstaged me and sent him a Captain America.
He always does.
Whatever.
He always does. Yeah, of course.
I mean, there's always ways to integrate what we do into our lives. We're in a couple of different groups. The Umbrella Corp group raises money for Arizona Animal Welfare League.
Yep.
Another group that we do is we have a way that we can gather a bunch of cosplayers and put the word out and show up to different events. We've done anything from birthday parties to we did a child's memorial service once. And we're on Facebook, so people know we're not shy about it, and we always drop whatever we're doing to help out, because you gotta keep that community going, and you gotta keep people up. People are really, really depressed and really lonely and isolated, and I think that giving them something to look forward to, or just talking to them, really helps people out. And he and I have been masking up for years, so everybody's complaining about the masks, and I'm like, I don't see a problem with it. Here we are. So
yes, I always tell my friends, because they always at work go, "Oh, I can't breathe under this mask." I'm like, clearly you've never cosplayed.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can breathe with a cosplay mask, with a Deadpool mask, you're fine, dude.
The most recent kid parade we went to, I even offered to wear my mask under my mask. Yeah. Because it's just like, I want to keep the kid safe. Because
he was sick.
Exactly. You want to keep the kid safe. You want to, and that's the whole thing with masks in general, in my opinion. We're not wearing a mask because we want to protect ourselves. We're wearing a mask so we can protect others. And that's what we need to be doing. And yeah, when cosplay conventions come back, TaioCon in January, when it comes back, I'm sure we're going to be masking up. It's the new normal, and that's what's gonna have to happen. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, like what cosplay character can you cosplay if you're wearing a mask?" I'm like, Mortal Kombat characters, Deadpool, Spider-Man. Do I need to go on? There's so
you
many
can wear it under your mask.
Yeah.
Or over it.
Yeah,
Or over
and
it.
also you can incorporate it into your costume as well.
Exactly.
Like if you make it match your costume, if you're a Disney princess or something, you could probably think of something. And even if you just put Disney across the face, at least it looks.
It's recognizable
Yeah.
to the kids too, and I think it's a really good message to send out to the children that it's okay. Look, we're wearing masks too. It's not scary. It's not. It's okay, and it's a superhero thing to do.
Yep, exactly. And you've mentioned Mama Pool that you were in Rocky Horror Picture Show. You were in a Little Shop of Horrors. Were you an actress when you were younger, or?
No, I mean I did high school plays, and that was kind of always where I wanted to go. But I was in Arizona, so there wasn't a lot going back on.
Not much.
And I was actually pretty shy to do things. If I wasn't on stage, I wouldn't get on stage. And of course now I'm like, I don't care, I'll do whatever.
Yeah, it's like whatever, I'm fine.
Yeah, you get over that whole awkward phase, and I would have liked to have done more with it, I think, but I got married and had kids, and that's what you did.
Isn't that always the excuse? Is like, oh, I had this dream once, but then I got married and I have kids.
Right?
Now I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm
Ruined my life.
I'm good. Ruined my life. No, that's... So, when you guys do photo shoots, do you like to go to specific locations, or do you like the green screen effect?
Just kind of do whatever people want.
Yeah. We're just giant mannequins, pretty much. Giant action figures, better. People
pose me how you want to.
Yeah, pretty
exactly.
much.
Maybe a photo for Mama Pool is draw me like you draw me French girls.
I'm just saying.
Right. It's fun. There's lots of ideas and everything. So are these the characters that you cosplay most frequently as Mama Pool? And
yeah, just about.
Yeah, I had I did with another group, a burlesque Disney group.
Oh,
and I did Ursula.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
That was really fun because people were screaming, Ursula! It brings out their inner child.
Of course.
Doesn't matter how old they were. So that was a fun costume.
Heavy, I'm sure. Heavy.
A friend of mine helped me make it. So she had like purple sparkly tentacles coming out and a short little skirt, high heels. Wow. And my daughter actually did a burlesque Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, nice.
And she had some high heels. So she was about 7 foot tall with blonde hair and legs, and she looked amazing.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Group cosplays are kind of hard, especially the one we had, because there were so many of us. To keep everybody herded together, we needed a couple of handlers and stuff.
Yeah. That's always a thing with cosplayers is you need the right handler to be able to like herd everybody together, and it's like, hey, okay, like I need this group over here, this group over here. It's really hard to cosplay as a group. So do you prefer to cosplay in a group, or do you cosplay solo?
I really prefer just me and him just playing off of each other, because we're like a walking sitcom skit, when we get going. We've had people comment that we don't break character wherever we're going. And I mean, it's kind of hard to break character when I'm really his mother.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
I'm really your mom,
cheating.
Yeah, slightly cheating.
But people seem to enjoy it,
Of
And it's just a lot easier to play off of each other. And okay, if one of us is wanting to sit down or, unmask or whatever, it's a lot easier than having a bunch of people and you got to coordinate.
Yeah.
So I just prefer to be on our own. I've done it personally by myself, and it's not as much fun. I have to have somebody to play off of. Because, I have a voice that I use. So when I'm at the convention, I'm talking to everybody like this. Oh, my God, honey, how are you? You look great. I haven't seen you in so long.
Nice.
And then it's, Wade! Sorry, hope your microphone.
Oh, you're good. Crazy. You're good. You're good.
And I scream like at the top of my lungs for Wade to wait for me because he's 7 feet tall and walking ahead of me.
Nice. And, nice. So you pull out the Jersey accent.
Exactly.
The Yiddish.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
I watched a lot of The Nanny and I watched a lot of Mama's Family.
Nice.
So those are my inspirations.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and so this is your guys' favorite cosplay to do, right? The Mama
Yes.
And Wade, very nice, very nice. So what is the worst horror story that you guys have been part of cosplay, would you say? Where things did not go well, everything was falling apart, and just like...
we pretty much roll with the flow with things. I think really the hardest time that we've had was adjusting to the new rules at the conventions, not having our weapons. We've actually traveled out of state. We went to Salt Lake City, I think it was Fan X, wasn't it, that year?
I think so, yeah.
And we went up there in 2017 because we wanted to use our costumes, our full costumes, like one last time.
My costume is literally like 70% weapon.
Yeah.
If I'm just a weirdo in a spandex onesie, if I'm not like have my swords and my guns and my minigun and my knife and my...
Yeah, he's just like that at the house too, so don't let him fool you. But like also my husband makes these prop weapons. And so we plan these weapons around what we're doing.
Your panel.
I don't carry weapons. I carry like a lot of utensils, like spatulas and stuff to hit people with.
Of course.
But he carries all different kinds of weapons, and that just really changed everything up in our whole lives because it's like, well, we're going to make this. Well, why? We can't take it anywhere.
Yeah, the convention center really just made it so you couldn't even bring anything really. I went to TaiyoCon and luckily I was able to bring my Kirito sword. And it was all metal. It's all metal. And so what we did was we hooked up with zip ties. We just secured the sword in it. And he was like, okay, now you can't pull it out. He was like, yeah, okay, cool, it works.
Yeah.
As long as it people feel safe, that's all that matters. But yeah, I understand the convention's no weapon policy because yes, if we ever had a situation where somebody brought a real gun in and police were called in and they're all aiming real guns at people who have props in their hand that look like real weapons, you will get shot.
Yeah.
And so I could understand their logic behind it. It's unfortunate that a lot of cosplayers can't cosplay in their outfit. But of course we have to adapt. Like you said, the bananas. They're not going to let you bring in the bananas.
It's going to continue to change just as everything's coming down the line. So, we're going to have to adapt, adopt, and improve. That's all we can do.
Yep. So, with that, what is your funniest cosplay story? There's so many probably, but...
one of my favorites was at Amazing Con. For a while, right after Deadpool came out, the movie, on my minigun, I just pretty much duct taped a unicorn to the front of it as a sight type thing.
Okay.
We ended up going to a panel that Rob Liefeld was at and sat in the front row in our costumes. And he kept riffing off of us and called me Spanky Pool because the unicorn. We all know what the unicorn was for.
Right. Yep.
But that's kind of mine, is Rob Liefeld looking at me and calling me Spanky Pool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's also one of mine too, because he came up and he was talking to him, and then he looked at me and he said, and who are you? And I looked at him and I said, I'm your mom.
I'm your mom.
And he was like, oh, okay. And he started laughing. And he was amazing. And we took pictures with him and stuff like that. That's one of my favorites. But, another one of the good ones was we just recently did a birthday party just before all the COVID stuff went down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little girl who with special needs, and she had a party the year before and nobody showed up. So Mom put out a call to any and all cosplayers to show up to her party.
Yeah.
And he and I were there. She had Ariel, she had Snow White, a bunch of the princesses showed up, and it just made this kid's day. She said, she told her mom later, she goes, these people are my friends now, right? And Mom's like, yeah. And that's what it's all about, making people happy. And if you can make kids happy,
yeah, exactly.
That's the best thing. So that's really my thing.
Yeah, I remember my nephew's birthday was coming up, and I reached out to Heroes United AZ about if I could get a Batman, because he told me before his birthday, I go, hey, like, what superheroes do you like? He's like, I like Batman and Spider-Man. Well, I was already Spider-Man, so I'm like, oh, well, I need a Batman. And he's autistic. And so there was, on the day of his birthday, there was Batman, and I was Spider-Man. And every time he's feeling like sad or is having a bad day, my sister-in-law, she calls me up on Facebook Messenger and says, hey, can you put on your mask real quick? I'm like, yeah, okay. And so I'm like, I put on my Spider-Man mask and I cheer him up and everything like that. And
that's the best.
Yeah. So what would be your favorite interaction while you were in cosplay with anything? Of course, when you're doing a lot of charitable work, it's like they all blur together. It's like they kind of, but what would be your one of your favorites?
I think one of my favorites that I've had in a while was, I was just at a small outside convention in my Nemesis cosplay.
Yep.
And this little kid that was probably about like 4 or 5-ish.
Yeah, he was about 5.
Runs up to me and just goes, are you a superhero? And because how tall I am, I'm literally over him like this.
Wow.
And also I have to stretch a bit more to look down because I can't move my neck in that costume.
No.
So I'm literally like this over him. And I don't know what to say, because I don't want to be like, because you've seen Nemesis, he's kind of scary.
Yep.
I don't want to just be like, no, at him.
No.
So I kind of just awkwardly stare at him and then look over real quick at my mom, which she ended up getting 2 photos of me of looking at him and then looking at her, which is a really great thing, just because it looks like I'm literally just going, do I eat it? But anyways, he just goes, his dad goes, no, he's a villain. And he goes, you're a villain! And then sprints off in the opposite direction of me.
And the best part about the little kid was he had a paper flash mask on that he had colored in.
Nice.
So he was running everywhere. He was so cute. And that was hysterically funny.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Nice.
I think my favorite interaction is we had a group of the Deadpools. I want to say it was probably 2016, maybe 2015. Mm-hmm. And we all got in the free photo booth for Phoenix, the
Comic-Con.
The Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
It changes so many times.
Yeah, so many times. First it was Fan Fest, and then there was
right.
Phoenix Comic-Con and Fan Fusion.
Screw San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
It's Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Right. Exactly.
But there's like 20 or 25 Deadpools in one picture, and they're all doing something different, but they're all together.
Nice.
Then we also did conga lines through the convention and Deadpool meetups and dance-offs.
Pool parties.
And that was the best time.
Pool parties.
It was so fun. The pool parties were the best.
150 Deadpools in one location, just riffing and vibing off of each other.
Fun, smelly, but fun.
Of course, yeah, yeah, because it gets a
little
lot of
hot in
sweat.
Arizona.
A lot of sweat is
Yes.
a pool of water in your suit.
Pool party and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if you only have spandex, then like your sweat is always all over you. Whereas if you're in pleather, the sweat's inside of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm still not sure which is worse, honestly.
Well, I guess if you're gonna hug people, I guess the sweat's always good to be on
Yeah.
the inside, but it's just like, don't touch me. I'm all sticky.
Well, mine's all cotton, so I just spray on a ton of grandma flavored perfume and go
There
on
you
with
go.
my dad's self.
There you go. There you go. And so, of course, you guys cosplayed together, as with family members and everything. So, why is it so much fun to cosplay with a family member?
I don't think it is.
It's not fun.
I honestly don't know how to answer that.
Is it fun, or is it like,
It
oh my
is
gosh,
really fun.
nerve-wracking?
But I mean, me and her have always been really tight, anyways. So I guess it probably depends on your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like for instance, I won't cosplay a costume with my husband.
Okay.
Because he's whiny.
He's
like, we were gonna do the Pool family in 2014.
Yeah.
But he has COPD, so he can't breathe with the mask on. But the costume was set up so that instead of katanas, he had golf clubs.
Yeah. So it was originally supposed to be like they are a retired Deadpool and training me how, like, that was our plot line.
Yeah, the new Deadpool coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he just couldn't breathe, so
no, that's
and if you're not into the character, which that's not his favorite character, you just don't, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So he and I, we get along like two peas, and just
That's
it's really actually a lot of fun, and it makes, I mean, it sounds corny, but it makes memories that you're never gonna forget, because someday I'll be dead.
Yeah.
You'll have your memories.
The memories.
Put that on a Hallmark card.
Someday you'll be
card right here.
So, have you? What is your favorite cosplay photo of yourself?
Mine is the one I think I sent you with he and I on the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Throne.
And mine is actually the same throne, but by myself. I'm like sprawled out on it, and the minigun is pointing out of somewhere unmentionable to make me more well endowed.
He's compensating.
He's compensating.
Overcompensating.
Oh, that's fun.
But that was my Facebook profile for a while. I really liked that one.
Of course. So, what is the biggest con you've cosplayed at?
Phoenix,
yeah.
We've been trying to get into San Diego for about 8 years, and it just never happens.
It's $250 for the ticket, for one ticket. Then you got to think of $200 a night for the hotel, because you're not going to go there for one day. You're going to go there for the whole thing. You want the whole experience, And so you're thinking like $250 for the whole shebang, $250 a night, or $200 a night for the hotel. So you're already at like $1,500 for the whole event, and then you got food and souvenirs, and it's like, oh my gosh, who has that to spend?
Yeah, it's crazy.
The good thing about Fan Fusion, it's like for a full pass, it's $75, and you're good.
Yeah,
and it's here. There's no travel. A lot of times we get a like a hotel room downtown. We don't rent from the big hotels, but we go off in the outskirts because we live so far from the convention center.
Smart.
So it's like a mini vacation,
Yeah, exactly.
But the next one that we really want to go to, I want to go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
New York Comic-Con. Yeah.
That's the one I really want to hit. I mean, Salt Lake City is huge and amazing.
Yeah.
And it was the smoothest transition because we went before the lockdown of, I mean, before the
Pandemic.
say the words,
The pandemic.
the guns.
Oh no,
Oh,
getting rid of the gun.
yeah,
the prop
the-
ban.
We went before and we went after, and afterwards it was smooth sailing. You
Mhm.
just held up your thing and beep, and you went in, and everybody was friendly. They were nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a really, really nice experience. But
That was honestly probably the best con we went to.
yeah.
In Salt Lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they understood the difference between a real prop and obviously a fake super gun laser blaster. So
Yeah.
like they allowed big guns because they kind of used logic.
Yeah.
No one's going to carry around a thing that in real life is 150 pounds, one arm.
Right.
So
Exactly.
they didn't allow smaller like handguns, which I was okay with because I could carry my minigun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they just had like these wristbands that continuously not tracked you, but like when you left the convention, you would have to scan out, and when you came back, you'd have to scan back
And
in.
you couldn't
That's
take it
smart.
off.
That's smart.
So you could like slip it to somebody else and go, hey, here you go.
Yeah, it was like a hospital wristband type thing. So it was that like impossible. You have to cut off, and if you cut off, you can't get back in. So
Yeah, it was funny. Speaking of wristbands, I remember I was at the state fair, the Arizona State Fair, and they have the unlimited rides wristband that I got.
Mhm.
And now that I'm in age, I'm 38 years old. I can't really do the roller coasters anymore like I thought. So I was like, well, that's kind of stupid, but I'm like, that was kind of a waste. I'm not going on every single ride. But this one guy stopped me and he said, hey, are you done for the day? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And he snapped, like, opened it up and he put it back on him. I'm like, what the heck? What just happened? I thought you couldn't get this off without cutting it. I was like,
That's
man, that's
hysterical.
just like, you are creepy, dude. Like, only in Phoenix, I guess. Only in Phoenix. But
For sure.
that's the crazy thing about conventions is there's not really a good scan in scan out system like they do in Salt Lake apparently, and they need to implement that.
It's hard though because when your costume goes over your entire body, you get it on and off.
Yeah,
because I would like to shower.
Yeah,
and I don't really want to shower in my costume.
Right.
Although. Yeah. It's not a bad idea some days.
Two birds with one stone.
Gotta wash the cosplay. Heck yeah, right? Especially when your cosplay is cotton. You can just jump right in and just wash it with soap. There you go. Now I smell like soap.
Get the pool.
Irish Spring. Get in the pool, right? Right? So, do you prefer buying cosplay props at conventions? Have you ever done that?
I don't think I've ever bought a prop at a convention. When I have bought something from a person that does stuff at a convention, but not at a convention. I think doesn't I keep forgetting his name. Todd Cook. Does he do stuff at the convention?
I don't believe he's doing that anymore.
Because the stuff at conventions are great. I'm going to say that first.
Yeah.
They get slightly upscaled in price when they are at the convention. You can usually find them on like a Patreon or like other websites are varied, whatever the heck. And they're usually a more reasonable. So I haven't really bought a thing at a convention for my costume.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you see it back behind me, this painting right here, somebody painted on a piece of paper.
I mean, I bought stuff at conventions.
I won that in a giveaway on their Twitch channel. So I'm like, what? That would have cost me at least like $15.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you buy cosplay prints like I have right here, and they're roughly $5 to $10.
Yeah, and, I mean, I have bought stuff at conventions. I do have a few pictures. I have this nice hand drawn like mech from Diva's mech from Overwatch, which I really liked because I like that character for the mech and not the anime girl inside. No, so there's not enough art of the mech, so I was really happy to find that. I really wish I remembered that dude's name so I could plug him because his art is really nice. But
yeah, no,
and he also bought. I know one of the things that he was into too was My Little Pony. He's a brony,
yep,
and he actually got to meet John Delancey and Tara Strong, and he had bought a really nice like lithograph of all the ponies and got them to sign it. And then at another convention, when he was dressed as Nemesis, there was a girl that did like fake cartoon like comic book covers,
nice,
and I had her draw a little Nemesis pony
nice
for him, and it was amazing.
That's
Like
cool.
fan art and things like that.
Yeah, of course. I think
I
we've
have
all
a cute.
have
I have a cute little Deadpool. They did the little Deadpool voodoo dolls.
Oh,
And
nice.
I told the girl, I go, you need to make it so that he's Velcroed together so his parts come off. And the next convention, she had him, and I got one, and
Of
his
course.
little arms are Velcroed. It's so cute.
Nice.
So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that. But as an actual prop, our costumes, I don't think either one of us have ever bought a prop for that.
So the next question is, have you ever lost a prop?
I've had a prop break.
Oh, yeah.
At the Deadpool talent show that we were at, my big minigun.
Yeah.
Because we had to wait in chairs and until we got to go up on stage. So I was like, where do I put this? I don't want to put this on the ground. So I put it on the stage, but like super far off to the right.
Okay.
And a Deadpool ended up breakdancing and then kicked my minigun off the stage and broke it. He apologized and he was very nice and whatnot, but I was able to fix it too.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, it was just one of those things. That's probably the most damage that has happened because I don't think we have lost any.
No. The only thing I've ever done is I had a little dish that I brought cookies. Excuse me. And started feeding people cookies. So
yeah.
but,
yeah. Don't we always lose a dish every time? Like we bring. It's like we give cookies to a neighbor, they never return your dish.
Exactly.
You're like, you're supposed to return the dish with cookies. But if you had a chance to meet your all-time favorite cosplayer, who would it be and what would you say? That's the hard question. P. Diddy. P. Diddy, the Deadpool guy, yeah.
I just think he's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, he was at last year's Fan Fusion.
Yeah, and I missed him. I didn't get to see him.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's one I would love to meet. He does a lot of inspirational stuff, obviously, for us for being Deadpool.
Of course.
So.
Yeah. And his videos are hilarious, of course.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So have you ever done like what type of cosplay panels do you do again? You do the variety the talent show? Deadpool talent show?
That's pretty much it.
But with the whole prop ban now, like what other panel do you do?
We have she usually hosts panels, honestly.
Okay.
A lot of the times. Because she has a good character.
Of course.
So like I know she's done like Jeopardy panels and stuff like that where it's just comic book Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just stuff like that. We do a lot of the smaller cons. The Tempe Library Con, we help run that.
Nice.
And we do the costume contests and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So do you prefer, now you said you prefer to get things from Goodwill rather than making the cosplay, right?
So we don't prefer it, but we can do it type stuff. Okay. I mean, her costume was kind of, you had to get it from Goodwill type stuff because
100%.
Where are you going to get an old lady muumuu?
Right.
No, watch yourself.
No offense.
Okay.
Just because you're in a muumuu doesn't make you can't rock it. You can rock a muumuu.
And then my costume is pretty much kit bashed. I have boots with the fur, but shin guards, and then a belt, and then obviously the onesie, and then this mask that I got. And like the boots I got from an army surplus store. The onesie I bought off of Amazon, and then because it was a super cheesy mask and I wanted this better mask, I took it to a tailor and had them cut off the mask and sew it up so it doesn't explode everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is also really nice because I can take off my mask, and a lot of Deadpools are jealous because if they do that, they have to undress and get half naked in the middle of the convention center.
Exactly.
And then like the belt I also got from an army surplus store, and then the belt buckle we did make out of like wood and plastic, and then painted it. So our costume isn't so much of like a lot of the like Disney princesses, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of do have to make those dresses. Our costume, since we're, at least me, I'm militarized.
Yeah.
I was able to kit bash a lot easier because army surplus stores exist.
Yeah. Yes,
so
exactly.
You like I said earlier, you don't really need to know how to sew to cosplay.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can figure out a character or your favorite character and kit bash, because a lot of the times the pre-made purchased costumes for like a Spider-Man or something are fair. You can find good ones out there.
Well, yeah, like if you pay the price, like if you pay, like I know this one screen printer does like them, and he uses really good material, and they're $150, but really good quality.
Yeah, you do gotta pay for what you get, so you can't actually go and
now if
you're straight off of Amazon.
Now, if you're just going there to wear it to a con for like one con, go to Wish and get it for $30, and you have a nice Spider-Man suit. But yeah, the Deadpool cosplay that I got from, I think it was from mecostumes.com. It was horrible. It was just not good. But because the material is just horrible, and but if you were to go get the pleather kind that Wade Wilson, you're paying $200.
At least.
Yeah, it's just like whew, and that
we have a friend. We have a friend. Oh my gosh,
does Mama Pool need water?
You want some water?
I need something. I don't think it's water.
Shot of vodka.
Instantly flex on her.
No, we have a friend that spent upwards of $1,500 on his costume.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
No, of course,
but for God's sakes, there's no way I want to spend a house payment on a costume.
Exactly, and that's the problem with cosplay. Sometimes when you don't make it yourself, or when you have it commissioned, be prepared to pay a lot of money, because not only are you paying for the material, you're paying for the cosplayers, the designer's time. And there were a couple places where I wanted an Ezio cosplay, and it's $1,500 for an Ezio cosplay. I'm like, oh no.
I was looking up for a Master Chief costume a couple of weeks ago, because I was like, I'm trying to think of costumes that aren't 50% props.
Yeah.
So I looked up Master Chief, and Master Chief is recognizable without his guns and stuff like that. I found one out there. It was full like metal plate armor and everything. It was like the starting price was $3,000. You can then upgrade it with adding more lights, but every time you like upgrade it with a new light, it's another like $100 to $150 type thing. And it was just insane. But it was a beautiful costume.
Yeah.
And the dude had full range of motion still, which is really nice in a costume. To be able to do this when you want to, it's pretty great.
Yeah, exactly. Because and of course you can go to like the fullbodyarmor.com or something. I can't remember what it's called. But it is insane. It's like buyfullbodyarmors.com. That's what it's called. And you could get a War Machine armor. You can get the full-on Iron Man suit. You can get
Yeah,
the
I think
Master
that's the
Chief,
website we were looking at.
the Master Chief outfit, and you're looking at 3-4 grand just for a basic model. You
They're
know,
beautiful though.
oh, they are gorgeous, and that my ultimate dream cosplay, as I told the last cosplayer, is the Iron Man suit that costs $10,000, where you can actually step out of the cosplay like he does in Iron Man, step into it, and it closes in on you and has a voice changer, has all the sounds that the Iron Man suit makes. I was like, holy cow, that would be amazing. But yeah, like you said, I'm not gonna be spending that much money on on a cosplay piece because it's wow, it's too much. But of course, if you're making thousands of dollars doing cosplay, oh
Yeah.
buying that, it's nothing, But so list like what are all the cosplays you've done? So you've done Mama Pool and what
I've
Ursula.
done Ursula and Mama and Frankenfurter, Janet, Columbia. Random stuff, throwing things together.
Nice.
My husband and I belong to a group called the Dark, and they're
what?
local in Phoenix.
The what one?
The Dark Ones.
Oh, the dark ones. Okay.
Yeah, and they're a local group, like an activity group in Phoenix, and they throw themed parties about 4 times a year.
Nice.
So we've done like Men in Black. My husband and I have done together. I've done some stuff for Resident Evil. We did one of the Drop the Brush challenges a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, fun.
Which was really super fun. Just like a girl with a clipboard and a suit. Because when I'm with Resident Evil stuff,
yeah,
I just look like a scientist because I'm usually following him around as his handler to make sure he's not dropping dead from the heat because he's got to hydrate and stuff.
Yeah, especially in Arizona.
Yeah, so I haven't done a whole lot of recognizable cosplays, but this is my main one. I just get a lot of joy out of this.
Yeah, of course, because it's unique. It's one of those cosplays where you don't see often, and so you're like, oh wow, that's really unique. It's like the many versions of Deadpool. Like you have a nurse Deadpool, you have everything type Deadpool, and it's like it's funny.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you just go normal Deadpool, okay, that's cool. But then like if you put
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm pretty much a normal Deadpool, but because I'm with her,
that's the shtick.
Yeah.
I'm his prop.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's very nice. But so if you ever had a chance to meet your all-time favorite cosplayer, who would it be, and what would you say?
Mine would probably still also be P. Diddy, because
because I asked Mama Pool and I was like, I forgot to ask.
Yeah, no, it's cool. But yeah, mine probably the same. We're honestly a lot of the same stuff.
Nice.
Just because we think a lot alike, honestly.
Well, wait, does Ryan Reynolds count as a cosplayer?
I mean,
well, favorite actor, you of course would love to be.
He
Ryan
does
Reynolds.
own the suit.
Yeah.
We heard that he showed up to Salt Lake City. What was it, 2018?
Yeah.
And was walking around in the Deadpool suit.
Oh, I'm sure he does that often.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does that often where people don't know it's him. And people are like, oh, you really sound like the character. He's like, oh.
I also really like, I'm brain farting on his name, the new Spider-Man, the Avengers Spider-Man. Tom Holland. Tom Holland apparently goes to conventions, but in like Halloween Spider-Man costumes, which I really liked because...
Oh, really?
It's even more undercover than having the actual costume because... there's a good video of him at a convention, like at a Spider-Man talent show, and everyone, like, he walks up on stage and everyone goes, "Oh, it's basically just a Halloween costume. Where'd you get that from? Party City?" And then he rips off the mask, and everyone just instantly blows up because
Holy
it's literally
crap!
Spider-Man.
Yes, like you are Spider-Man. Oh it again.
I heard that Hugh Jackman was walking around dressed as Wolverine in a costume
Oh yeah.
a place, and they said, "You're too tall to be Wolverine."
You're too
Like, oh,
you're
we
too
cut him down.
fine. You're too tall or whatever. Yeah, no, it's funny how people who've played these characters in real life, these comic book characters, and then they just mess with people. And one story was funny that I heard was Bill Murray went into a regular restaurant and went up to a guy and took a French fry and ate it and said, "Nobody will ever believe you," and walks away. And I was like, "That's so messed up." It's like it's
The
funny.
other thing that I think would be fun would be to go to San Diego Comic Con and try to find Adam Savage.
Yeah.
Adam Savage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Lately, he's in a little bit of hot water right now. So, yeah. The allegations against him.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, there's inappropriate allegations that are against him right now. It's crazy with the whole cancel culture and everything. And I understand people do stupid things in the past, and it's just like, ooh, ouch. And then of course the unfortunate news that Grant from Mythbusters passed away.
That broke my heart.
Yeah,
that was so sad.
Never fun. It's 2020 just sucks. It's just like it's horrible. Can we have a reset button, please? So, if you could tell your past self anything about cosplay, what would it be?
Start sooner.
Right? Hey, I'm with you on that one, man. I wish I would have started this like a lot sooner, but I was too much, in the acting scene and everything like that, and I was like, darn.
And I mean, seriously, don't be afraid to spend the money on it.
Mm-hmm.
If it is something that you would like, I mean, you can test the waters by getting a cheaper costume and stuff. You don't have to immediately $150 on a costume.
Yeah.
Try it out in the cheesy Party City costume, just to see if you like it, and then slowly upgrade the costume over time, if you're tight on money.
Yeah.
The other thing I think I would say, and tell people in general, people say, "Oh my gosh, I could never do that." Oh, they're afraid to get out there and either look stupid or make a mistake or whatever. But I mean, I know both of our personalities change when we put this mask on. And I literally had to make a decision today. Do I talk as myself or do I this the whole time? Because this really is who it is. This is what it's about.
Yeah, exactly.
And just don't be afraid to look stupid, because somebody out there, that's going to make somebody happy. That's going to make them. That's going to make their day. Whatever.
Exactly.
My favorite cosplays at conventions that I see always are the ones that only a few people will get. Like a dude walking around as Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Not a lot of people will understand random dude in cargo shorts and a blazer. That's just a normal dude walking around. But then you go, "Are you Tommy Wiseau?" And the other person goes, "Yes, I am!" And then you immediately hug because you understand each other.
You understand each other. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just one of those things. I've always really liked the cosplays that only a few would get, because the interactions are better than... Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I'm in the Nemesis costume and there's 150 people around me taking photos, that does also feel good.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The small interactions feel just as good as the big one.
No, yeah, like this one person came up to me like when I was dressed in my Kirito outfit and was like, oh my gosh, can I get a picture of you? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. It's like,
because chances are is you're cosplaying as their favorite character.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it works.
That's how it is. It doesn't matter what shape, size, tall, and short you are. You're going to be having fun in your cosplay.
Yeah, and because they're afraid to do it, you could inspire them.
Yeah, Exactly. Yeah, because I have a root beer belly, as I like to say, and when I do the Spider-Man cosplay, I have a waist trainer that I like suck in my gut, and I put waist trainer as far as it can go, and then I'm like, okay, I think I'm skinny enough, but I can't really breathe. And but because what I like to do is I like to go for the realism of the cosplay, and then I'm really realizing, well, if that's gonna be the case, then I really need to slim down. And I think cosplay really gives you the motivation to be healthy. And but I just love it when you see a big boned person just cosplay whatever they want. And I was like,
Yeah.
you're amazing, amazing. Like this one guy who I saw was dressed up as Wario from Mario, and he's on the heavy set, and then I was like, oh, what's your Instagram? And on his Instagram, he's dressed as like Elsa and he's Little Mermaid, and it's like he's a big guy. It's like hilarious. But his favorite thing to cosplay is Hagrid from Harry Potter because he's got the built for it and he's got the huge beard. But when you see a bearded Ariel and a fin and he's all chunky and he has like the bra on, oh, it's hilarious. And but
Yeah,
that's
I've seen
that's a good thing.
there were 3 guys running around the convention a couple of years ago dressed as the Powerpuff Girls, and they had full beards, and they were amazing.
Yeah,
I
because
love that
like the good thing about Arizona cosplay scene that I've seen is a lot of people don't like to body shame you. They don't like to shame you in any way, or like, oh. But of course, when you go into the internet, you post it on the internet. People are like, oh, maybe Spider-Man needs to hit the treadmill a little bit. I'm like, maybe, but thank you, Spider-Verse. Now I can
It's
be
all
Parker
that
B.
anonymous. In real life, if someone calls you fat, you can deck them in the face. On the internet,
Right?
what are you gonna do? They're
Yeah.
like, oh,
you
darn
whipper,
kids,
you whipper
get off
snapper.
my front page.
Right.
But like, yeah, I think that's also part of it. Is
Yeah.
people are a lot meaner online.
Yeah.
And honestly, ignore them.
Oh yeah.
No one cares.
Exactly.
Like I said, you're never gonna meet that person. They're just sad that you're happy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, and so I was walking around in my Spider-Man outfit at QT, and I had to go get gas, and I just like forget it. If I'm going big, I'm going big. And so I put the mask on, walked in. I'm like, yeah, 20 on 8, please. And he's like, what, Spidey? You can't use your webs? I'm like, no, I have to drive today. And he's like, and this old guy just looks at me and goes, why? And then like this guy behind him taps his shoulder. He goes, why not? He looks cool. I'm like, oh, there you go. Rock on. All right. Good job, Arizonians representing. But, that's the great thing about cosplay. So what is the most difficult cosplay you've ever done?
I can answer that for you.
Yeah, it would probably be, honestly, the Nemesis. Just because, no?
R-5000.
Oh, that one? Yeah.
R-5000.
A million years ago, I did a cosplay of R-5000 from Hot Diggity Demons animation of the Dot Mob My Little Pony series.
Okay, yeah.
It's this killer robot Rainbow Dash type thing.
Okay.
Great animator, by the way. Hot Diggity Demon is really funny. He has like a Ren and Stimpy vibe.
Okay.
Type animation. He doesn't only do his My Little Pony series is actually over because like
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it got really big.
Where it was like demented, kind of like whoa.
Yeah. It got really big because it was the whole people that didn't like My Little Pony got to see the ponies get chainsawed in half, and then other people that did get like were just like, oh no, that's not how the character goes, type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I had that costume. That one was pretty fun. I only wore it like once or twice though. That was kind of sort of ish my first cosplay, honestly.
Yeah, that anime kind of reminded me of Happy Tree Friends.
Yeah, that's the exact same vibe that it had.
Same vibe.
Well, and the cosplay that he was using, it was made out of like
a literal trash can.
A literal trash can,
Nice.
like the heavy can, and cones that were cut up. We don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
The costume was so heavy and
Yeah.
so thick
Yeah.
that he was literally walking like.
I mean, it looked really good because it was like a single piece of plastic. It was the jetpack that I had on the back was made out of air conditioner parts.
Nice.
So it was like actual metal and like was put together.
And he had the head,
Yeah.
and it had like a little remote eye that went back and forth.
Oh,
I mean, it was an amazing costume
Yeah.
for not really knowing what we were doing.
Yeah.
But you know, like, yeah, anybody who wears those full body cosplays,
Yeah.
it's just like you need a decompression time.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like I need to get out of this for like 2 hours, please.
Yeah, I don't understand how furries can run around an entire,
Right?
literally run around an
Run
entire
around.
convention,
I'm like,
and
no.
they're wearing an entire body fur coat.
Well, they have
they're
air
like-
conditioning inside the suit, but
Some
just
of them do.
being the whole claustrophobia, it's just like,
Yeah. Well, you don't really get I mean, I don't get claustrophobia when I'm in stuff, but because like a lot of the times your eyes are your eyes. Like
yeah,
I don't see this costume, or even when I'm in the Nemesis costume, I don't see the costume because it's up against my face.
yeah,
And I feel like that might help a lot, maybe.
yeah.
But
And I don't see crap in that.
You're right. See, that's my whole thing is when I put on my Spider-Man mask is like I can't see anything. Oh, that's great. Unless I'm outside, then I can see. But in the convention center, I'm like, oh, great fluorescent lighting. This does not help.
Well, and these are real prescription glasses, so I am really blind under all of this. Then I got the mask, then I got the glasses, and they fog up every time I breathe. And you know, everybody comes up, oh, and I have to like really get in and pretend like I know who they are a lot of times.
You're like, oh yeah, you're that one person.
yeah, it's pretty great. When I'm in Nemesis, she's my handler, but when she's in Mama Pool, I'm her handler.
'Cause
Right?
you can see.
Like,
Yeah, because I can
this
see
way,
clear
come
as
this
day
way, come
in
this
this.
way. Yeah, exactly. No, that's
So
the
she
good.
just has to follow the big blob.
That's the good thing of having that 20/20 vision. Yeah. Yeah, but so what, in your opinion, what makes a cosplayer a pro cosplayer?
Everyone's a pro cosplayer.
Mm-hmm. If you make a cosplay, you're a pro cosplayer. You're a
The
professional.
cosplay in general, honestly, I do it for fun. If you get out there enough and you just go to enough conventions, you will eventually get known and you will eventually get invited to stuff and then be qualified as a pro cosplayer.
Exactly.
So it's just one of those things where everyone can be a pro cosplayer. It's not so much you have to be already famous or your costume already has to be amazing.
Right.
Just get out there and be known. Whether you're getting paid or whether you're going to get like 150 followers on Instagram or something.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you will be qualified as a pro cosplayer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what is your...
I
Well, go ahead.
was going to say, I don't consider myself a pro cosplayer, even though like people do know me, which is kind of weird on its
Yeah.
but
Which is kind of weird.
but it's like, I mean, some of these girls that are cosplaying out there, they get really big paychecks, you know,
and have
they
huge
get out
tracts
there
of land.
huge. And I consider them because they do put their livelihood into that. They make money from
They
it.
do.
They do these photo shoots. They live going to the conventions. They make money selling their pictures.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would consider a pro cosplayer.
Yeah.
Now, like I know AZ Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beautiful Iron Man costume. He's got the face for it. I mean,
Yep.
he's amazing. And I would consider him a pro because I don't believe he gets and does all these Phoenix Children's Hospital and events, big events like that.
Yeah.
So I think there are different tiers.
Different tiers of professional. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. Like, you know, these people who go out there and get paid to be a guest at a cosplay convention and everything like that. And who knows? You may one day become a guest at a
Yeah.
a con. You never know.
Eventually, that is the dream, but
Yeah, of
also
course.
to get like invited to. I think the closest we came was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Palm Springs. We were invited to that. That's about probably as close as we got. So we're like in the commercial for Palm Springs Comic.
Hey, if you get invited to any con, you're professional, in my opinion.
Oh,
yeah, like because you I don't know if you know her, but Kara Nicole, she was she ran for Senate. she and then they drug up her cosplay past, and she's like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna run for Senate now. But
it's a shame because why
but it's
not?
a shame. Well, like because like
she would get the nerd vote.
the problem is that the world loves to slut shame.
Yeah.
And just because you have huge tracts of land and you're wearing skimpy outfits, I say flaunt it if you've got it. If you've got it, flaunt it. As the producers say, if you've got it, flaunt it. And that's the thing is you're going to get the attention, and of course you're going to get the unwanted attention, of course, as well. And if you're okay with that, then that's your shtick. That's your avenue of making money. And you can't. It's like making fun of strippers and calling them prostitutes. That's their way of making money. It's just like
probably making more money than you too.
And you're just jealous because you can't get on the stage.
And you're driving around in a beater from 2009.
It was funny. That reminds me of a story. One of my friends who cosplays in Deadpool Cosplay as well. He went to a strip club one time and just jumped on the stage. It was hilarious. I thought we were gonna get kicked out, but it was like we just went in there just to have him do that shtick, and we recorded it for him. And the owner's like, no, don't get down. Keep going up there. Keep going up there. And he's like,
That's
crap!
awesome.
And he gave him a show, and like he got paid to come into the strip club and dance like as Deadpool and everything.
I tried that. They didn't want me.
Oh, little bastards. Little bastards. No. But in your opinion, what's your favorite part of cosplaying?
I think my favorite part is I've been talking about Nemesis a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Resident Evil. So how I got into it was my stepdad, he was into Resident Evil, and he started making the card. One day, the group's Nemesis couldn't make it to a convention, so they're like, hey, is there anyone big that can do a Nemesis costume? So I agreed to do it because I was like, why not? And I started doing it, and then because I'm 6'5", 6'6", they pretty much really liked me. So I was their like second pick. So
nice.
My favorite part of it is, since I don't know the character, I mean, I know him now type stuff, he is the bad guy, other than the fact that he goes, Star. That's pretty much all I know. What he looks like, what weapon he holds, what he says.
Yeah.
My favorite part is seeing the joy on people's faces when they see me, because, like I said, that's their favorite character. Just seeing how excited people are to take a selfie with me or to tell me stories. I've had kids and adults alike just stand up to me and was like, this one time in Resident Evil 3 when you came around this corner and I screamed because I was almost dead and had one bullet left, and like people just enjoying
the exactly.
costume.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was playing Resident Evil 3, I was like peeing my pants when he jumped out in front of me. I was like, oh my god, my controller went flying.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where when people just run up to me and tell me about their stories, I just enjoy it because it's interesting. I enjoy other people's stories. It's really fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like same with me, where I know nothing about anime. Nothing. Not one thing. And one of my friends was like, hey, if you really want to get into this cosplay thing, you might want to just watch some anime. so you could get ideas for characters to cosplay. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Then I got sucked into the rabbit hole. I'm like, oh damn. So like Sword Art Online, Kirito, My Hero Academia, Todoroki, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a rabbit hole here. I think we're gonna get into deep here. So, Mama Pool, what is your favorite thing about cosplaying?
I have a couple. One of the things about this particular costume is I hug people a lot. I get a lot of hugs. Kids are not afraid. Adults come up, but I've had kids, younger teens maybe, that they come up and they grab me and they hug me and they say, "You remind me of my grandma," and I miss her.
Oh.
And it's like,
oh, I didn't know that.
You're like,
Yeah.
you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart.
And I always say, well, I know your grandma loves you and I love you too, baby. You just always, make good choices and just kind of play off of that. I give people,
as you're trying to fight back the tears, you're like, ah.
and I mean, and it's very touching because a lot of people, we're all scattered.
Yeah.
We aren't all together as families anymore.
Exactly.
And people don't have that interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So that one always gets me. I, as tired as I can be sometimes walking to the car, I don't unmask usually anywhere until I get to my car, because you never know who's going to see you. You never know who's going to run into you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm always there. I always will give out a hug and blow a kiss, whatever.
Yeah.
But going off of what he says, we have the 2 Resident Evil cars, and people go insane when they realize what the car is. They'll look and they're like, "Are you a real cop?" And we're like, "No." And then the kids will see the cops, the cars, and they start screaming. And this one kid was like, "Oh my God, can I take pictures?" And they want to put the thing where they're like on the car and getting arrested, and they want to get in the car and they want to, they go crazy over the car, hanging out the window on the freeway.
I was going to say, because those cars for the longest time were our actual cars, or we take them to conventions.
We're daily drivers.
Nice.
And there's a whole Reddit thread apparently about my Stars car. This thinks he's a cop, and this one, that one, and people get on there and they fight about it because everything is legal. We keep the red and blue, keep them covered, so. But it's just the happiness of people realizing what you're doing, and
exactly,
it's the way it makes people happy.
No, yeah, it's true. So, like everything, there's a good and there's a bad to everything. So, what are the bad things of cosplay?
Sweat.
Sweat.
Yeah.
Especially in Arizona when it gets up to 116 degrees.
I did the zombie walk in the Nemesis costume, which was a mile. I walked a mile in that. That was actually like my 3rd time in the costume, and my handler wasn't pretty good. And he wandered away with my water bottle. I'll say that. So I literally did pass out at the end of it, pretty much. I mean, God. I didn't actually go unconscious, but I just laid on the ground.
You definitely had a heat stroke.
Dumping water on me.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my worst cosplay experience type thing.
Oh yeah, that's not fun. What about you, Mama Pool?
I mean, I have to say kind of the same thing.
The dehydration.
The heat is really hard. I'm not no spring chicken here. Yeah. So the heat is hard. I have some physical ailments, so walking through the convention center, sometimes I actually used a walker for a while.
But it goes well with the cosplay.
It worked.
It works.
But the one that's hard for me is that, and it's hard and it's not, when I don't have my costume on and I'm walking through and I'm seeing people that I know and they don't know me. So I'm walking up to people, "Oh, how are you?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm fine." And then they'll hear me and I'll say, the voice, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, hi,"
Right.
But
exactly.
It's really just the inconvenience of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
That's my worst complaint about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's why you go to Salt Lake City, where it's just a beautiful temperature.
Or you go to the Flagstaff Con-Con.
Yeah.
That's up north. And it's then you're.
I was really mad when they stopped doing fan fusion during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Because that was really fun. I really liked how people decorated their costumes for Christmas themed. Like I actually decorated mine with the classic Saturday Night Live joke of a dick in a box. So I just made this giant present and hung it on my belt, and that was also really fun because people would go,
like,
"It's
what's
a
in
dick
the
in a
box?"
box," or they would scream, "What's in the box?" And then eventually, what I ended up doing, by the way, was I had the present lid on a flap, so when they go, "What's in the box?" I could open it up, and it's just a picture of Dick Van Dyke in there. And then people
cute.
just die. It was really fun.
It's
But
it's a dick in a box.
yeah, but I was really mad when they stopped doing it on Christmas because people were cold, and it's like,
yeah.
yes, let us be cold. Let us be cold. It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in a cosplay, you're going to be hot. You're going to love cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, like when you're inside and you're sweating and then you go outside, not good.
Yeah.
Then you get too cold. Well, I appreciate you guys spending the time with me today and answering questions and everything. And you know, I wish you luck in all your charities that you guys do for AZ Hive and Arizona cosplay team, and also you said the Umbrella Corporation. You know. Yeah, and I wish you all the luck on that. Anything you would like to say as a closing remark?
I mean, I just want to tell everybody to stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, show up for the next convention, take care of yourselves, because I love you all and I want to see you healthy and happy at the next con.
Coming straight from Mama Pool. There you have it. And
Listen to your
those
mama.
those who are watching this on the YouTube channel, the links are below, and make sure you're following all their socials and everything. So with that, thank you again for your time.
Thank you
Mwah.
for having us.
Take care of yourselves.
You too.
too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.